It's a winter wonderland. This is yesterday afternoon. The tarps on the field, and then the snows came. It canceled Jackie Robinson Day, postponed it till today. Almost 10 inches of snow fell downtown. Every member of the organization, we mean every member, Dick Monfort, the principal owner, out with shovels at 8 this morning, and they just concluded their work literally a few minutes ago, and now the field looks pristine for Jackie Robinson Day, the first of two, we hope, depending on weather today, between the Rockies and the New York Mets. Welcome, everybody, to a frigid Coors Field with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. Before we get to Jackie Robinson, I've never seen anything like what we just saw in the last 8 hours.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, I got here about 8:30 this morning, and I didn't grab a shovel, folks, but I sure watched a lot of other people do it. Hats off to Raz and his crew and everybody in the front office to get this thing going and to be able to play baseball. Not more than an hour ago, there was that sitting on that warning track, and it took a mammoth amount of people to get that cleaned up.
Right, and that's just what you see visibly here. The entire parking lot behind the left field fence is completely filled. They were trying to figure out where else they were going to put it. Some's in the bullpen as well. We're going to talk more about Jackie Robinson in the second segment. George, I had the pleasure of going to 42 last night with the postponement. A wonderful, wonderful movie. I recommend it for everybody.
As they should. I mean, that's, again, honoring meant a lot to not just baseball, but mankind. And I think that's the neat part about this day.
No question. Well, the Rockies and Mets are off to very good starts, and surprisingly for the New York Mets, they are really swinging the bats. The Rockies expect to hit. The Mets expect to pitch generally.
Well, you look at the Rockies, 21 home runs, 6 more than the Mets, and then their RBIs at 64, yet the Mets at 67. A lot of doubles, a lot of big hits with 2 outs with men on. And not only that, their pitching is ranked 3rd. Rockies pitching 8th. I mean, they're pitching it, they're hitting it. The one thing the Rockies have done better is field the baseball. They are number 1, and they've done a great job fielding the baseball, where the Mets have scuffled a little bit, particularly at the shortstop position with 5 early in the season. But the Rockies' defense today only has 2, and it's going to play a role. Because, folks, when it's cold, you start pounding in and you start swinging early, because those hands are going to ring.
And it affects the defenders, actually, typically more than the guys at the plate. When we come back, we'll talk about the great Jackie Robinson. The Rockies and Mets hoping to get 2 in this afternoon and tonight at a snowy Coors Field. be. Man, they worked fast. Really remarkable how much snow was on this field. And when I woke up this morning, I said, there's no way we can play baseball today. But we will, and we'll honor Jackie Robinson as well. Most of Major League Baseball was able to do it yesterday. Today, the Rockies and Mets will honor Jackie Robinson in the first of two. 66 years ago today, or actually yesterday, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. He not only pushed the game of baseball forward, he pushed society forward. For more on Jackie Robinson Day, we go to the field where bundled up Jenny Kavnar is waiting. Jenny?
Drew, as you mentioned, it was April 15th, 1947 that Jackie Robinson took a Major League Baseball field with the Brooklyn Dodgers. He broke the color barrier in the jersey that wore number 42. And for players today, for the Rockies and the Mets, they will honor number 42 by wearing his number and celebrating the path he paved for generations to come.
It's very special. I'm glad baseball does this for the game, and you know, it really shows the respect that they show for Jackie Robinson and all of the minorities that play this game. And you know, to have a special day set aside for, you know, in his memory and his name, you know, I think it's a great thing for baseball.
It's an unbelievable day. You know, Jackie Robinson, to be able to endure the things that he did for all of us to have this game be better. It's remarkable.
It's very significant. My first game was last year with a 42. I actually sent a picture to my dad with the 42 on, and he started crying, all that kind of good stuff. So it's a good day for me and my family.
A special day for those that get to wear number 42 and those of us that get to celebrate it. 42 was retired by all of Major League Baseball in 1997. A few players were grandfathered in. Mariano Rivera will be the last player to wear that when he is set to retire for the Yankees at the end of this season. Drew?
Well done, Jenny. A special day in Major League Baseball, a special day, I believe, for all Americans. The Rockies, amid the snow flurries, have cleared the field. They're getting ready for baseball. Rockies and Mets, come on back to 20th and Blake with us. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your 7 neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Again, more than every employee, literally every Rockies employee, was out shoveling snow from 8 this morning until about 15 minutes ago. There is green grass at Coors Field. Amazing. And for those hardy souls that have made it to Coors Field, we salute you as well. So the Rockies and Juan Nicasio in game one, ready to go. Rockies have won 3 straight, 3-game sweep in San Diego as they take on the Mets. Scheduled 4-game set, and for Terry Collins' club, here is their Southwest batting order. They'll have Jordani Valdespin leading things off. Red-hot Daniel Murphy will bat second. Big star in the game, David Wright will bat third. Ike Davis, John Buck's off to a fabulous start. Lucas Duda, the Southern Cal product. From Denver Christian, Kurt Neuenhuis will be in center field batting seventh, and the shortstop is Ruben Tejada. And Nicasio ready to go, and his first pitch is outside, ball 1.
And Nicasio in his career has struggled against the National League East. 0-4, 841 earned run average. But what he's done at Coors Field, 6-3 with a 470 earned run average. So pitching at home against the National League East favors a win today for Nicasio.
.39 degrees is our game time temperature, and the 2-0 pitch is in there, and it's 2-1. Time now for the Farmers Insurance game plan.
Well, I think pace and rhythm in this ball game with a fastball that averages 92.8. Just pound the strike zone as much as you can. Get right back on the hill and really control your pace and the rhythm of this ball game. You'll keep your defense in it. It's a cold, cold day. Hitters won't like to have it on their feet. What are you doing?
Well, I noticed I wasn't feeling any heat on my legs, and you selfishly turned the heater off of rotation.
That's not true that I did it.
Here's the 2-2. And a bouncer to third. Nelson on the move. And had a good grip on the baseball. And that's, again, one of the things we'll focus in on. You start to lose feeling in your fingertips, you can't throw the rock. Today's defense brought to you by Excel Energy. We bring you the energy you need so that you can live the life you want. Visit responsiblebynature.com today to learn more. In the outfield, Cargo, EY's in center, and Michael Kadire is in right. Nelson Tulowitzki, Johnny Herrera at second for Josh Rutledge, Helton at first, and Rosario behind the plate. Dexter Fowler's foot's a little bit sore from, if you saw the game on Sunday, he fouled a pitch off his foot. And nothing serious at all, but EY getting the start in center field. Josh Rutledge is fine. He's got the first game off. Johnny Herrera starting there. Ball 1 strike. And here's what we were talking about with Dex. Slider down and in, and he fouled it off the top of his foot. That was from Clayton Richard. 2 balls and a strike. Home plate umpire is Mike DeMuro. Let's talk about the players and the conditions that they have to deal with. Look at Mike. No gloves on Mike's hands.
Well,
Lance Barrett, Ted Barrett, and Alfonso Marquez are going to be chilly.
Well, he's the one moving all the time. Those guys out on the base paths, they're going to bundle up just a little bit more. Nicasio behind 3-1. Nicasio this year has averaged 57% in ground balls put in play, and that's a good number. Some of the Rockies have been trying to really focus on this year. 56% for his career, and you were talking a minute ago, Drew, about getting your infield involved in a game. They're going to be involved in this game with Nicasio.
Daniel Murphy currently 5th in the league in hitting at 381. He's had multiple hit games in 5 of his last 6, and he draws a walk there, so a 1-out walk. Murphy on for David Wright. I know who to blame for this weather.
Brought it with him, didn't he?
Yeah, it's the Mets' fault. Mets were in Minneapolis on Sunday, and they got snowed out in Minneapolis. They got snowed out yesterday here in Denver. Terry Collins saying, what's going on? 38 degrees Friday, game time 34. Sunday was 20.
Well, they've utilized the meal money.
Yeah.
They've been eating out a lot.
Everybody's gained 7 pounds. David Wright takes strike 1, right in at 293. Has yet to hit a home run. 9 RBIs. 21 home runs last year. He is the face of this franchise, especially since the departure of Jose Reyes more than a year ago.
And people will tell you, not only is he a great baseball player, but he's also very active in the community. He's He's the Todd Helton of the New York Mets. He's just a franchise, face of the franchise. Does a great job on and off the field.
He's always got a big smile. He's always very accommodating with the media. Very affable guy. Here's the 1-1, and it's inside, 2-1.
Nicasio, 8 walks on the season now and 11 in the third innings. That's one little Achilles heel for Nicasio, has been the walks.
Yeah, George, I don't know if you were this way, but there are some pitchers, and obviously Juan's one of them. He does not like the sleeves, even though it's frigid out there. He doesn't want it on the bottom of his arms.
Yeah, some people don't like to pitch with anything attached to the arm area. This ball's hit well.
And Kadyr's going to watch it sail out. The moment we mentioned David Wright has yet to hit a home run. He goes deep here in the top of the first inning, and it's 2-0 New York. His first home run of the year, RBIs 10 and 11.
After working him in, and Nicasio, good fastball. We talked about the average of his fastball velocity at 93 miles an hour. Had thrown the fastball inside. Now they try to take this ball away, and that is not a bad pitch. I mean, you're talking about a pitch right at it or above the ankle area, and he just golfed it out into right center. Sometimes you just have to tip the hat to the opposition.
Strike one on Ike Davis. Well, on the all-time New York list for home runs, Darryl Strawberry is number 1. David Wright is third. Barring something unforeseen, David Wright one day will be the all-time home run king for the New York Mets. Mike Piazza at 220 is second. Former Rocky Hojo played a season with the Rockies. He's in 4th place. And King Kong, Dave Kingman, is in 5th. He could hit him a long way. Ball and 2 strikes on the Arizona State product, Ike Davis. Georgia, you played with his dad.
Played with his dad, Ron, a right-handed relief pitcher that worked in setup man for Gossage in New York. On with Minnesota and a couple other ball clubs. Lives in the Phoenix area.
He has scuffled in April each of the last couple of years. Now it's 3-2. This is somewhat unlike Nicasio, and we saw it in his last start, George, where deep pitch counts and losing guys, he normally has terrific command.
When I saw him as a young pitcher, it was just strike after strike, fastball, changeup. He come back there and he just painted the outside corner, and that's what you saw from Nicasio when he's pitching right and has the proper arm slot, keeps that hand behind the baseball and just drives it. Look at those fingers staying behind the ball throughout the delivery of that pitch, right on the outside corner.
And one of the reasons the Mets have put up prodigious offensive numbers thus far this year is John Buck, the veteran catcher. What an April he's had. 6 home runs, 19 RBIs. And if he was thinking of firing at the first pitch fastball, not an opportunity there because Rosario called for a slider. That's a good looking heater at 91. Buck hit some home runs in bunches.
Well, you look back over his career, he's hit some home runs, over 100 in his career. 118 if I'm not mistaken, but a lot of those would be like 12 one year, 18 another, 15, 12, 18. A lot of those with Kansas City Royals.
He had a stretch recently where he homered in 4 straight games. 1-2. And that's outside, 2-2. The official delay, 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Well, that's not true either. 26 hours and 2 minutes.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, it was 6:40 start last night. I tell you what, they've got a pile of that out in the tunnel in left field, but let me tell you what, folks, you go out in the back parking lot back there, everything that was on this infield sitting out there.
There's a pile of snow. Got a shot in a moment above the batter's eye that looks like it's about to fall over into the fountains. George, in between innings.
I'm looking to see where that.
Go knock that off.
You want me to knock it off? Okay. Why not? Think I'll get in trouble for crawling around out there?
Another foul ball. Buck is the only player who's ever faced Nicasio. First start ever for Juan against the Mets. Buck 0 for 3 against Juan. There goes slider. Got him. There you go.
Yeah, didn't offer for it. Started to fire their hands and were able to hold up. With a pretty good pitch and a good location. Now you run the count to 3-2. And of course, the old saying, if it's good enough 2-2, it's good enough 3-2. You see, he started to fire and the circular motion to save it a little bit better here. That's exactly right. If it's good enough 2-2, go with it 3-2. He shook away from it, but went back slider again, hit hard right at Nelson. Boy, self-defense knockdown.
A base hit for Buck.
Yeah, hit very hard. This slider was more of a first pitch slider strike than put away slider miss. That ball just shot right at Nelson. You can see him try to turn sideways to handle the hot pocket. And it bounced out of that glove.
So now big Lucas Duda. Duda is a big dude, 6'4" and 250 pounds.
Boy, that's not giving the outside corner at all. Yeah, just missing off the plate. I mean, from our vantage point, of course, we're very high, but it doesn't look like Williams, who's doing a good job receiving the ball, framing it on that outside of the plate, not getting the call. Sure, why not? Mets fans, they're used to that. See that? Colorado guy's got his hat on. He's ready. By the way, they told a lot of people that came to the game today, they said, you know what? Go sit where you want to sit. If somebody comes up and tells you to move, go find another seat. All right? As you notice, not a lot of people out in the left field bleachers. The third deck fairly empty other than people up there cleaning things up. Still trying to get some of the snow out of here.
2-1 on Duda. That's in there. George, did you feel when it was extremely cold, it just, you felt like you never got loose?
Well, that's the thing is, as a pitcher, I mean, you got to come in the dugout, go down the tunnel, sit by the heater, try to get your body temperature up, try to keep a sweat going if you can get one. I mean, it's 39 degrees right now.
And foul tips held by Rosario. In the inning, David Wright hits a 2-run home run, his first of the year, and the Mets are off to a 2-0 beginning. At Coors Field, the Rockies and Mets. The Rockies in the bottom of the first inning. We'll begin with Eric Young Jr. Tell you a great story about EY and his dad relating to Jackie Robinson Day. Walt Weiss's batting order brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Johnny Herrera, last start for Johnny, he had 3 hits. He'll bat second, then Cargo, Tulo, Kadire. Todd Helton, he had the 2-run pinch hit home run on Sunday in San Diego to provide the difference for the Rockies in a 2-1 victory. Willeen Rosario, Chris Nelson, and Juan Nicasio. Big numbers for Todd career-wise against the New Yorkers. Dylan G is on the hill, making his 3rd start. He had a real rough outing in his last start, George. In fact, it was the shortest outing of his career.
3 home runs in the first 5 pitches. That's how bad it turned out. Started his career at 13-6, and then things have kind of slightly gone downhill since then, 6-7. This is a guy that will try to have a lot of pitchability and command with 4 pitches.
His first pitch rides out of the strike zone, ball 1 on EY. The story I was going to tell about Junior, his dad, as I'm sure most of you remember, wore number 21. And there was a reason he asked for and received number 21. He felt like he wanted to be half the man that Jackie Robinson was.
Wow.
Felt like he'd be doing pretty well if he could be half the man Jackie Robinson was. That's going to go foul. Junior will come back. And you don't mind sprinting on a day like today. It helps to get that blood flowing. The Mets, when they built Citi Field, did something really unique. I've only seen it in their clubhouse, George. You know, when you come off of their clubhouse, as you're walking down the hall to go down the stairs to the dugout, they have a long hallway that's more than 90 feet with a base path, so guys can run sprints.
It's a good idea.
On that turf. Here's the 2-2 inside, 3-2.
But that's a good idea. You know, constantly keeping yourself loose. You think about days like today, you're talking about a pitcher in the grip and feel of a baseball, your hand turning purple because of how cold it is. But the guys like EY, you really concern yourself with hamstrings, pulled muscles in that respect simply because of the cold temperature.
Ground ball to Daniel Murphy, 1 out. Mets defense brought to you by Excel Energy. We bring you the energy you need so that you can live the life you want. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Nieuwenhuis is flanked by Duda, who's not a good outfielder, and Valdespin. David Wright at third. As George mentioned, Ruben Tejada has had trouble at short. He's made 5 errors already. Murphy and Ike Davis, John Buck behind the plate. This staff has really enjoyed so far throwing to the veteran John Buck. Outside, 2-0 very quickly on Johnny Herrera. Typical of Johnny, he's going to take a strike, 2-1. Center field, shallow center field, and Nieuwenhuis makes the catch. Two outs, and that'll bring up Cargo. Cargo had a productive road trip. 5 for 17, finished strong in San Diego. A couple doubles and a home run. Also walked 4 times, stole a base. He had Sunday off. And the Mets are doing what the Padres started, and that is put a shift on. David Wright's the only player left on the left side of the infield. And George, it almost looked like there were 4 guys on the right side where Wright was initially. Now he slid over, and Cargo tried to take advantage of that.
It just opens up the whole left side of the infield if you want to try to drop the bunt down and get things going. And on a cold day today, why not? With Tulowitzki behind you, see if you can pull it off and get that base hit up the left side with a bunt. Because even with David Wright, if you're going to play it, play it. I mean, go ahead and go back. Where you're playing now, if you're trying to take the bunt away, guess what? You're not going to get him. go ahead and play up the middle more. See where he is there?
And it doesn't matter where you play defense there. That's headed for the gap. Extra bases for Carlos Gonzalez. And this should be a triple. It will be easily a stand-up triple with 2 outs for Cargo.
Well, I like that a lot more, Cargo. Get 3 instead of 1. On a Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, you'll get a really good look at this pitch coming in. Trying to run the fastball in on his hands, but see the ball tail back out over to the plate and allowed Cargo to get the sweet spot of that bat on it. And when it got out to right field, it stuck under the fence. A lot of times that ball's going to bounce out of there. Remember, a lot of snow, a lot of things packed up in there. There wasn't a whole lot there. When Cargo waved one look and they haven't got to the ball yet, an easy stand-up triple.
A chance to get a marker back here in the bottom of the first inning with 2 outs. Tulowitzki up there with a .325 average. Troy's already driven in 11 in 12 ball games. And he takes strike 1 from Dylan G. This is a team historically that Troy has really gotten after. You see the numbers on the right, .328. But over his last 12 games, he's hitting .420 against the Mets, including 6 home runs. And a towering pop-up right into Tejada. And Tejada makes the catch. So we've played 1 frame. Cargo's left in 3rd after tripling. And the Mets on the David Wright 2-run home run have a 2-0 lead. So triple with 2 outs. Unfortunately, Rockies couldn't cash him in. This afternoon's sideline report is brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company. Secrets in the fire. It's a ready-to-eat superfood. Jenny, are you keeping warm?
I am trying to. I would like to say I'm fully warm. My feet are a little cold, though, but that's okay. I'm not playing baseball today. Somebody who is Michael Kadire, and, he knows how to play in the cold. He played in Minnesota. Yes, most of his career was in the Metrodome, but he did play at Target Field for 2 seasons. So I asked him yesterday, have you played in any weather colder than this?
Cold, yes. We had a few that were in the 20s, wind chill in the teens. But never we had one game where it snowed from start to the finish, but not anything accumulating even outside the stadium because we had the heated field as well. So it's definitely a different game to play when it's snowing.
Well, speaking of that accumulation, I talked with Mark Razum today. He's the head groundskeeper here for the Colorado Rockies. He said this is his 19th season here, and he's never seen snow in that amount of mass. But one thing he was so grateful for is the hands-on experience from the entire Colorado Rockies organization. Drew, George, you both have talked about it a little bit, but from the front office, the ticket office, the marketing department, every single employee was out here in some form or fashion, and I really hope they reimburse for some of those nice leather Italian shoes I saw some of those guys ruin down there shoveling snow.
Yeah, I talked to a few employees who were out there literally for 8 hours or 7.5 hours today. Neuenhuis is gone. Third strikeout for Nicasio in the first out of the second inning. Mark Razum, and we always talk about what a great job that Raz does with his grounds crew. This field is immaculate, and he deals with more weather conditions than any other head groundskeeper in baseball. And what they were able to do with the help of all the employees today, flip this thing around. George, we woke up this morning, it just seemed like there was no way.
Well, you didn't anticipate it, but then, I started to say to myself, Raz is pretty good. If anybody can get it ready, Mark Razum's going to be the guy to get it ready with his crew. And it took everybody else, and I mean everybody, folks, from the front office on down that came down here and helped us. And I mean, it was a mess early on, but you can see they made it look like the middle of June baseball field.
Yeah, the first process, and you can kind of see it. Obviously, we're speeding it up for you. We don't want to watch 7.5 hours of snow removal, but the first process was getting the snow off the main portion of the field. But then they had a berm that was about 700 feet long when you go from foul line to foul line, starting at the warning track all the way down. It's actually bigger than that because you had the berm out in the outfield also, and the berm was 4 feet high in places.
It was crazy, and how much work they had to do and how much they had to push and get things done. Well, I honestly tell you that Dick Monfort, it was not a publicity deal on his part to say, hey, look at the owner out here, because I got here at 8:30 and he was on the field, and he didn't leave until at the very end, still shoveling down the right field line at 3 o'clock.
No, this was not for the cameras. And Dick, Dan O'Dowd, everybody in the front office was out there for hours. He's dropped into center field. A base hit for Dylan G, his first of the year. And with 2 outs, Valdespin will come up for the second time. Coldest home games, and the game time temperature, George, was 39, and I'm sure it's going to drop. That matches, I would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth coldest game, and there's been 3 other games that started at 39 degrees. April games at 93, 95, and 97. Coldest ever.
28, wasn't it, or 29,
April,
like that?
April 12, 1997. Game time temperature 28 degrees. And fittingly, the Montreal Expos were in town.
You never knew how cold it was there, though, until you played in Old Jerry Park. And then they went to the indoor deal.
I remember watching games on TV when it was growing up, and the Mets were playing up at Jerry Park against the Expos. 1-0 on Valdespin. He bounced one to third his first time. That's in there for a strike. Just to warm you up at home, the warmest home games ever, 100 degrees last year on June 25th against Washington. Ground ball to first, that's foul. I didn't realize this. Last year, George, when it was 100 degrees at game time, the high in Denver that day was 105.
I remember doing the game with you. It was a very warm. Seemed like Oklahoma type August weather a little bit, but that guy's head's 105.
1-2 on Jordani Valdespin. Back and forth last year between Buffalo and the big leagues. 5 times did he go. That's a short flight. 5 times going up, back and forth in 1 year is quite a bit. Most you ever went back and forth early in your career, George?
3. And I'll tell you, one of those flights is really good. The other one isn't any fun.
Going's good.
Coming up's really good. The other one going back's not so good.
Nice pitch by Juan Nicasio. A very solid second inning. 4 punch-outs for Nicasio. The Rockies trailing the Mets 2-0. Middle of inning number 2. First of 2 at Coors Field. David Wright. Rockies will have Michael Kadire, Todd Helton, and Willeen Rosario here in inning number 2. Who wants tacos? Remember, if the Rockies score 7 or more runs during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. Rockies did it twice in San Diego. Kadire against Dylan G, and that fastball's in there for a strike. Oh, and 2.
Oh, somebody's been playing in the snow again. Or is that your little imaginary buddy you brought with you?
Well, he had 2 tickets and somebody canceled on him.
Oh, he did? Okay. I'll just make a snowman and talk to him during the game.
Listen, you spent a long time out in the bullpen. You'd have done the same thing. You had a lot of imaginary friends.
Oh, I did. You ain't kidding.
This is rip, stay fair at will. Hunt in the left field corner. Duda will play it off the wall. It's a leadoff double for Michael Kadire. Boy, he's come out of the gate swinging the bat.
Well, he's doing everything because he's healthy. It's not any different what he did with a Minnesota Twin uniform either. What the Rockies expected from Kadire, now being healthy for the entire year and coming into camp ready to go. It's carried over to the season. A shot right down that left field line. And an opportunity for a red-hot Todd Helton to swing the bat. Helton this year 5 for 10 with runners in scoring position. He's got them right where he likes them.
Time now for the big hit presented by Mako, the company that repairs all kinds of hits. Well, Todd Helton on Sunday pinch hitting, and for the 3rd time in his career, he left the building as a pinch hitter. That gave the Rockies a late 2-0 lead. They'd hold on and win 2-1. Got that dugout fired up. That's a strike. 0-2. Check out your local Mako for collision repairs and auto painting for as low as $349. Visit Mako.com today. Todd will try to move Kadire along. Leadoff double for Michael. And a ground ball to Tejada. 1 out.
Coors Field Suites and party facilities. They fit any event and any budget. So for the best deal, ask about the 6-game or 20-game suite package from Coors Field. You can do that by calling 303 Rockies for more information.
Rosario with 4 jacks, 10 driven in. Willeen had Sunday off. Torrealba caught De La Rosa. Great outing for De La Rosa. 6 shutout innings.
First win in a long time for De La Rosa.
So it's back a couple of years, and George, for De La Rosa, 11 straight shutout innings since the 3-run home run in the first in San Francisco against Hunter Pence.
First win since May 13th, 2011. Wow. Of course, injured, didn't pitch a lot either. Nice to get that first one out of the way.
Bring your boots.
No, don't buy a ticket for the 3rd deck. It's closed anyway, by the way.
Yeah, can't get up there.
No, they've moved everybody down.
It's on the corner. Rosario looking back at Mike DeMuro. Looked like it was slightly off the plate. Catchers generally have pretty good eyes.
Well, they usually get the benefit of the doubt with the umpire.
There's a poke single to right. Kadire is going to get a green light. And the throw is on line and in time, but the slide underneath, safe at the plate. Michael Kadire underneath the tag at John Buck. He was arguing with Mike DeMuro, and here comes Terry Collins. And I think live it was the right call. I think Kadire got his feet in. An excellent throw by Valdespin.
Part of the thing is Buck got way up in front of the home plate trying to shorten the distance and then come back and then put his foot there. We'll take a look at this. I love Rosario's shot on this. This is a slider in a pitcher's count. Then here comes the throw from the outfield. It did, to me it looked like he beat it there. Let's look at Buck. See, Buck goes out in front. Absolutely. Foot came right across the top of the home plate area. Before the tags applied, almost both of the feet, and then he hit it. A 2-1 ball game and an RBI, his 11th for Rosario.
Chris Nelson at the plate. You get an ideal view of it here overhead. Yeah, his shin was across the middle of the plate by the time the tag was applied. And this is getting through the middle. Chris Nelson, a base hit. Rosario will shut it down at second. And the Rockies have 2 on now with 1 out. And Nicasio coming up, trying to move him along for Eric Young.
One of the best things about the Rockies lineup, yes, you have power. Yes, you have some speed, but what you have is a lot of consistency throughout that lineup. That's fairly obvious. The bottom can hurt you just as easy as the top of that lineup.
George, you know what I loved about the swing of Rosario is that he went to what Dante Bichette has talked about all spring. A 2-strike approach. He just kind of towed up, and Dante famously just spread out. There was no stride with 2 strikes. That's more or less what we saw Willeen do there behind in the count.
And a slider that was stayed up in the strike zone, so it made it a little bit more hittable for Willeen, and he took advantage of the mistake. You got to get this bunt down. The Rockies right now, with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, have hit .275 on the season, so you hope to get these 2 moved over and let EY do a little work. They are 4th overall. The St. Louis leads it, hitting nearly .400 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs.
G 2 years ago won 13 games, 13-6. Last year he went 6-7. 26-year-old Texan, drafted out of the University of Texas Arlington. Good baseball program there.
Very good baseball program. You get a lot of the guys that don't get recruited by Texas, Texas Tech, Texas A&M, Baylor. Dallas Baptist, also another school there. It has dominated with some very good high drafts and very good players out of Houston Baptist and Dallas Baptist, those other 2 schools in that area.
Friend Mike Bard was the head coach at Dallas Baptist for a period of time, and you're right, they've turned out some big league players. That goes foul. Nicasio upset with himself. He does not get the bunt down, so there are 2 outs, and Eric Young will come up.
Well, you're disappointed because it's one of the parts of being a pitcher, starting pitcher, and have the ability to move those runners over because it can only help you with a base hit. And possibly put you ahead in this ball game, 3-2.
So EY coming up there. Most notable product of Dallas Baptist, Ben Zobrist. Junior bounced to second his first time. And this is popped up. Easy play for David Wright. He's got it. That puts down the inning, but the Rockies get a run. Michael Kadire leadoff double. Willeen Rosario brought him around. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Ford Fusion. Quality you want, power you desire. Ford Fusion, go further. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, and Jenny Kavnar from Snowpack Coors Field. Still working on his snowman.
That's his buddy. Oh, I like it.
I don't know if he needs the sunglasses, George. Not much sun up there.
He's just trying to look cool, though. He looks cool. Got scarf on, got the whole thing working.
Daniel Murphy, David Wright, Ike Davis, 2, 3, and 4 in Terry Collins' lineup to face Juan Nicasio. We celebrate Jackie Robinson Day this afternoon, and numbers first time through the lineup for both pitchers. And the difference, the 2-run home run by David Wright.
And a big difference also, the number of pitches thrown so far for these two pitchers. Nicasio with 44. G with 32. There's only been one Rockies pitcher throw 100 pitches in a long time, and that was Guthrie, June 12th, threw 102. Then you got to go way back. Chacin and different guys that threw 114 in a game. Stasio threw 154, but the point I'm trying to make here, you're in the third inning, Nicasio's already at 45.
0-1 on Daniel Murphy. Murphy's a good hitter. He hit 291 last year. Missed there, 1-1. Well, I'm going to try to pass along some things you may not have known about the late, great Jackie Robinson as we celebrate his breaking of the color barrier 66 years ago. Johnny Herrera throws out Murphy. Probably have heard he was a marvelous athlete, a 4-sport athlete at UCLA. One of the sports he competed in, George, was track. And it's not just that he competed in these sports. I mean, he was fabulous. He was the NCAA, they called it then the broad jump. We now know it as the long jump. He was the long jump champion when he was at UCLA nationally. Jumped close to 25 feet.
Isn't that amazing? Great, great athlete. Quarterback in football, right?
Well, he was actually a running back in football, and I'm glad you brought that up. He averaged, listen to this, his last year playing at UCLA, and that's a strike, 1-1 on Wright. He averaged 12 yards a carry in his final 2 seasons playing for the Bruins. He led the nation in punt return average. There's an interesting twist to the story about his marvelous athletic achievements at UCLA, because in basketball, George, he led the then Pacific Coast Conference in scoring twice. So, I mean, it's kind of a joke. I mean, he was an NCAA champ in the long jump. In football, he led the nation in punt returns. He averaged 12 yards a carry. In basketball, he's the leading scorer in the conference. In baseball, the 1 year he played at UCLA, he hit .097.
Well, they say they want to draft the best athlete. Yeah. He's the best athlete.
And he turned out okay in baseball.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Rockies fans, this season we want to answer your questions on air during Toyota Talk. Text Toyota followed by your question to 720-720. Watch as your questions are answered, provided we have enough time. In the 5th inning, first-time texters, you get a free day pass to the Denver Zoo courtesy of your neighborhood Toyota stores. 2 outs, and Ike Davis at the plate, caught looking on a 3-2 pitch his first time up. He may wind up, George, more than any hitter in his load, if you will, that I've seen in baseball. I mean, he really gathers himself.
Way onto the back foot, almost starts there, and then he'll turn and go back the other way. The thing is, it's that movement with the hands. You feel as a pitcher, maybe if you're a little velocity, and I'm talking 91 and above, that you can get the ball by. But the one thing, if you make a mistake middle half in on Davis, look out.
Strong man. 1-1 on Davis. Traditionally has hit well in this ballpark, 7 for 16 in his career. They'd like Ike to be less feast or famine. A year ago, the 32 home runs and 90 RBIs, that's terrific, but just a 227 average. And he brought a 128 average into the ballgame, 3-1.
Free swinger, I think you're being polite when you say that. I mean, this guy will hack at a lot of things. You know, I mean, he's just one of those guys that's going to swing hard, and if I hit it, look out. Second time displeased with the call on the outside corner with the fastball.
He just has really struggled getting out of the gate. See the good numbers at Coors Field, but last year he hit below 200 in April, and this year well below 200. And here's a graphic to support what we're talking about. Bad Aprils, bad first half. Second half, he picked it up, 20 home runs, and far more respectable 255 average. 3-2 with 2 outs on Ike Davis.
Well, the other thing people don't realize, coming out of high school, people didn't know whether they would draft him as a pitcher or as an outfielder. He played right field, and he pitched, ran it up to 93 miles an hour on the mound. Very good slider. Went to Arizona State, continued to pitch and hit, but the hitting really surpassed what was happening on the mound.
And he closed some games at ASU. Got him. Took something off. Ooh, hold on. Get back on the field. After the Rockies were sprinting toward the dugout before they realized there was a foul tip.
It slipped right out of the glove of Willeen Rosario as it came into it, caught the heel when it did. I mean, that's a hit or miss anyway.
That has nothing to do with Willeen. That's just whether the luck of the foul tip landed in your glove. No harm done. Troy Tulowitzki throws out Ike Davis. A strong 1-2-3 inning for Nicasio. 2-1 ball game. Photos of Jackie Robinson. Died of a heart attack in '72, George, caused by diabetes he suffered from. Literally less than 15 years after he left baseball. Johnny Herrera, did that get Johnny?
Fred stared it. Danced his way away from it.
Cargo on deck. Johnny hit a line drive to center field that was caught by Kirk Neuenhuis his first time. There's only one member of that 47 Dodger team that is still living, and that's Ralph Branco, who's actually more famous naturally for what happened in '51 when he gave up the home run to Bobby Thompson. The shot heard round the world. Ralph's daughter is the husband of Bobby Valentine, the wife of Bobby Valentine. And another opportunity for Neuenhuis. And one of the many memorable quotes from Jackie Robinson: "A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives." One of the great lines, George, from the movie 42, which I mentioned earlier. I was able to take advantage of the postponement last night, take in with my family. Jackie Robinson said to Branch Rickey, "You want me to have the guts not to fight? You want somebody who has the guts to fight back?" And he said, "No, I've chose you because I want somebody who has the guts not to fight back."
Yeah, sometimes it takes a bigger man to walk away from the fight than it does to fight.
Yep. Think of Dr. King. 1 ball and 1 strike on Carlos Gonzalez, who ripped a triple his first time up. Shift is still on. And this ball is going to tie up the baseball game. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Into the second deck at Coors Field. And we're tied at 2 as Cargo has left the building for the 4th time this year.
A triple and a home run, 2 of the hardest things for a cycle. And now you're just a couple away. The single, double, obviously.
We've seen him have a cycle here.
Yes, we have. And where he hit this, folks, got out of here in a hurry. The ball down in the middle of the strike zone, dropped the hammer and let it fly. How many people were chasing for this? 2? There they are. They didn't even get up and go get it, I don't think.
I'll get that one in the 5th inning. A little chilly right now.
Yeah. Oh, they got it. Good job. You know what? I bet their seats were somewhere else, and they said, let's go out here and sit because Cargo might hit a home run.
Might hit another one up there. Stay where you are. Here's the 1-0 on Tulowitzki. There's a bunch of people standing. I'm looking out there, George, in left center field. There's a couple folks standing to be ready to move in case Troy deposits one out there. Ooh, that's off. You got to be kidding me.
Kick save.
Yeah, kick save in the air over to Ike Davis. He'll check on Dylan G, and he's saying he's okay.
Where'd it catch? Right on the bottom of the foot? Because it sounded very solid, a one hopper. And it just ricochets up into the air, and Ike Davis said, I got it. Tittle couldn't have hit it any harder.
Kadire doubled and scored last inning. Did Cuddy not get the weather report today, Frazier?
What's that? What's the matter?
Well, he's got the eye black going.
Well, you got a little sun out there. It kind of breaks out every now and then. It's bright. Got snow up above you in the 3rd deck. Could get a little bright. Maybe he just gets a lot of hits with eye black, and I'll wear it again today. You just got to get concerned if it's 9 o'clock at night and he's got eye black on. Then you know it is something superstition to do with it.
Two and one on Kadire. And this is fouled off and out of play. See on those high pops when there's not a lot of folks and it's really cold, they let it hop on the cement once and then go catch it.
That's not true. They let it hop like 25 times when they do the euchre thing. When it stops rolling, they pick it up and put it in their pocket.
Up out of the third deck, down to the lower level.
Stuck in the snow, and they got it.
Jay Alvis just came in and as a comebacker let us know that the second game, because of the delay, it was originally a day-night doubleheader, a split doubleheader, as they say, and now the second game will start 30 minutes after the first game, unless it goes very quickly. There'll still be a 6:40 start otherwise. Cargo with a long home run to right center. He's tied it up at 2 as we go to the fourth.
We're all tied up 2-2 between the Rockies and the Mets. These are the shoes I'm wearing. They're keeping me warm. It's a very chilly day here, but it's a very special day as the Rockies and Mets get to honor number 42, Jackie Robinson. They missed the official day in Major League Baseball yesterday on April 15th. Drew's already mentioned what an athlete Jackie Robinson was, a 4-sport letter winner at UCLA. After that, he served as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army from 1942 to 1944. Of course, broke the color barrier in 1947. In 1949, he led the National League in stolen bases, batting average. He had his first All-Star appearance. He helped the Brooklyn Dodgers win the pennant, and he was named the MVP. He was also the first Major League Baseball player to appear on a U.S. stamp. That was in 1982. And, of course, in 1997, that's when Major League Baseball decided to retire at number 42. He is a legend indeed, and I know players today everywhere honored to wear number 42. And, Drew, we're honored to wear number 42 as well.
No question. And Jenny, one of the things I want to point out, and I think some people, I think maybe most people realize that Jackie Robinson truly was a great player. But I think some people think, well, you know, he's in the Hall of Fame because he was the first, because he broke the color barrier.
No, he was a good player.
He was a tremendous player. I mean, Jackie Robinson, that first year, and there's no way that anybody can imagine, or very few of us, what he went through. He didn't get a hit in his first 5 games. He went on to hit .297 that year. 2 years later, in 1949, he led the league in hitting at .342, and he was the MVP of the National League. So, and this is a guy that didn't come to the big leagues until he was 28. After UCLA, he was playing in the Negro Leagues for the Kansas City Monarchs. Base hit for John Buck leading off the 4th inning, and that'll bring up Lucas Duda. Well, you do anything you can to stay warm. Have you seen Blue Man? If you've been to Vegas and you've seen Blue Man,
Thank you, Schultze.
Yeah, this is my partner.
I was doing great, except my face got cold.
You know what? Here's the truth, folks. George was giving me a hard time because
him.
I'm wearing this big heavy jacket.
No, it was the
Schultze
beanie,
gave me, and I got this, and I got the and I got the skull cap going. And he's giving me a hard time at the start of the game. We weren't an inning and a half in, and Frazier breaks out to Doug. Man, I'm really cold.
My face was really cold. That's what I said.
Oh, whatever.
And it was cold. Well, I have great big ears, so they get really cold. Not anymore. This is pretty good.
That's a good look for you.
I think so.
Yeah.
My son's in robbery division. He'd love to see me.
Exactly. He's seen your type before.
Yeah, he looked at me a lot like this.
1 ball, 1 strike on Duda. And it's inside 2-1.
Is that better? You like this better now?
No, you pulled it down. I actually think you.
Now I feel like I ought to be on a bobsled or something.
Kay just texted me from Tulsa. She said,
"Look much better."
You look much better with the thing pulled up. Outside 3-1. Well, the Philly Fanatic's 2,000 miles away, but I'm going to find the warmest thing I have. And that's way outside. And now Nicasio, after the base hit, walked Duda. 2 on, nobody out for Kirk Neuenhuis.
Got a pitch count 76. You're just here in the top of the 4th inning right now with nobody out. Conversation out to the mound, trying to get the cold out of your head. I think that's one of the most difficult things for Latin American players. They're just not used to this kind of weather. And you're going out trying to grip the baseball, you're trying to get yourself warm, you're shaking, you're doing everything you can, and just nothing's working.
Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level seats today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Neuenhuis struck out his first time up. Good athlete. He runs well. After Denver Christian High School, he ended up playing collegiately at Azusa Pacific. Kind of a self-proclaimed late bloomer.
Well, Azusa Pacific, a very good baseball school in California. Division III, if I'm not mistaken, but they throw out some players now.
That's dropped in for a strike. That's 0-2.
Has it gotten hotter?
Oh,
2 degrees, 41.
It's heating up.
It's a south wind blowing all the snow out of here. Cold weather.
Okay, suntan lotion?
Not yet.
1-2. Neuenhuis, when he came up last April, first time in the big leagues, was just scorching hot. Got a lot of national attention. Ended up hitting .252 last year. 7 home runs, knocked in 28, 282 at bats. Two ball game in the 4th. 2 on, nobody out. Swung on and missed. And Nicasio punches out Neuenhuis. And that's his 5th strikeout.
Let's go to the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. His 5th strikeout coming into the ball game. He had 4 strikeouts on the year. Elevated fastball on the hands. Really couldn't get his hands close to the body, do anything with it. Good pitch, Nicasio.
That'll bring up the 8th place hitter, Ruben Tejada. He popped to second in the 2nd inning. You're in the right place in the order, George, to get out of this little jam. get Tejada. We have the pitcher, G, on deck. Good pitch.
You can obviously tell Nicasio feeling this chilly temperatures. Fastball's been 88 to 91 today.
Yeah.
Normally 92 to 96.
Yeah, that's why I asked you earlier, George.
Yeah, hard to get loose.
If it's
more for them, I think.
Loose.
Well, for them more than anything, mentally they just aren't used to this type of temperature. It's difficult.
Toward the hole and off of Helton into short right field. That's going to score a run. It's a bad break. Ruben Tejada shot it to right field. And it ends up plating John Buck. Lucas Duda went first to third, 3-2 New York.
Fourth RBI for Tejada. I mean, it's just a nice job of hitting here. And a tough break is right, Drew, just what you called. Because this ball's hit so far inside out. Helton two-step dive hits right off of the glove and then squirts into the outfield. And because Helton was able to deflect it at all, that slowed enough velocity down for them to go ahead and send the runner in, John Buck, the catcher, from second base. But now you're back first, third situation. They're going to try to obviously advance and get the runner at first, Tejada, into scoring position.
Helton's got to hustle, and he gets it to Johnny Herrera in time. G pushed it up the line. So 2 outs after the sac bunt. Duda third, Tejada at second, and Jordani Valdespin, who's 0 for 2, will come up. Bouncer to third and a strikeout for Valdespin. Real important here that Nicasio is able to retire Valdespin. Rockies trailing 3-2. Pretty good speed at second base. So you throw out a base hit here and you're down 3 in all likelihood.
And it allows you to get a little bigger lead too, because it's with 2 outs. The Colorado Rockies home run for the homeless 5K is Sunday, May 12th. Go to therockies.com/5K for more information. With 2 outs, typically you're going to let your defense sit. So you're not going to be having a lot of movement. So your runner at second can get a couple of steps more of a lead, which allows on a hard hit ball to maybe take that gamble to sending. Quite a difference. The Mets with 2 outs and runners in scoring position this year have hit .214. With runners in position any other time, .411.
Got him out front on a changeup, 1-2. Pitch he has been diligently working on, George.
Oh, he's going to have it, and this is a really good changeup. Really pronated to the inside. He's able to throw this well out onto his front foot. Kind of an emergency, ugly Christmas hack on that thing. That wasn't even close.
1-2 on Valdespin. And a ground ball to Tulowitzki. In the inning, there was a couple of hits and a run, so the Mets have taken a 3-2 lead. As we go to the bottom of the 4th, Helton will lead it off. Alexis look back. In the first inning, David Wright had been homerless this year, and he golfed the ball out to right center field. A two-run shot in the second inning. A single by Willeen Rosario brought home Michael Kadire. Kadire had doubled, and then Fargo took one deep in the third inning. And I mean really deep, 438 feet of home run. And then last inning, Ruben Tejada knocks in the go-ahead run for New York. All of that brought to you by Cooney Lexus, where luxury has an address. Helton with a one-strike count, and now a two-strike count. Todd bounced to short in the second inning. Helton was 6 for 9 in that Padre series. He entered the series 2 for 21. Rockies have an on-base percentage this year when leading off an inning of .396, which is the best in baseball. You know, the other day was a great example of that. They had only 3 hits in the 2-1 victory on Sunday in San Diego. This ball was in the air to Duda in left, and now he's got to come on and makes the catch. But the Rockies were aided by 6 walks. So with one out, Willeen Rosario will come up. AT&T trivia question. Jackie Robinson was the first African-American to play in the National League. Who was the first African-American to play in the American League? And swung on and fouled straight back. Well, a decision for Walt Weiss. You're playing a doubleheader. The pitch count is approaching 90 already for Nicasio. You're in the middle of the Mets lineup. He's got Edgemer Escalona up, and that may be, George, if it's an RBI situation this inning, they let him go back out there for the 5th inning. Again, the circumstances are a little different because you're playing a doubleheader today, which is going to tax your bullpen potentially.
Well, and the hard part too, Drew, to add to that, you can't make a player move. With Colorado Springs is sitting in Reno right now. If they were at home, you know, then you can make that phone call about the 6 or 7 if you needed to add pitching in between ball games, which you can do that. That's a little hard to do when they're sitting in Reno. So Escalona, the right-hander, plus Nicasio is 2 away from him to get the swing to bat here.
This is in the air to right center field, and Valdaspin gets over there and makes the catch. The Rockies also will need somebody who's not currently in their rotation to make a start on Saturday.
Yeah, if the doubleheader happens, if they go single, you're still going to have to with the doubleheader today. So it's going to have somebody for Saturday, right?
Yep.
You know, there's some candidates for that. That's a decision Walt and Bill Guyvet will put their heads together along with Jim Wright and Bo McLaughlin and come up with the guy. Because
last Friday, the Rockies began a stretch where they were going to play 20 games in 20 days. Now, they had the postponement yesterday, and that's why it's going to throw off their rotation against the Diamondbacks. This is back up the middle, and G grabs it, and he has his first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. So we move to the 5th inning, the Mets 3 and the Rockies 2. First of 2 at Coors Field.
move the whole game.
He's got a stoic expression. He's upset. His club is down by a run. Juan Nicasio out there in the top of the 5th inning, and the Mets will have Murphy, Wright, and Davis in the 5th inning. Scratched out a run last inning to take a 3-2 advantage. 5 hits for New York and 5 hits for Colorado. They're moving their snowman, huh?
No, he's adding to it. He's also moving, but he's adding to it also. This guy's collecting money. Where are you collecting money from? What are you doing? Today would be a good day to be a glove salesman. What do you think?
You know, if we could open up a kiosk right now, George, I think we'd do brisk sales. I think you're
gloves,
right.
hand warmers, beanie caps like yours.
What's the deal? Help me out with something, George, because you have an answer to most things. At what point in time did that fan? That's fine. You're a baseball fan. I love all baseball fans. You're going to go to a Rockies Mets game at Coors Field in Denver. At what point did it seem like a good idea to put on my Angels jersey?
When he got out of bed this morning.
Is that one? Okay.
Yeah, it's an Angel fan.
Yeah, I guess
He's
the
got
same guy
the
that wore the
Phillies
Phillies
hat,
hat,
got
huh?
Mets, we got a little bit of everything. Or, ow, that hurt. That was right off the end of the bat.
Yeah, it didn't feel
That
too
really hurt.
good for Daniel Murphy. 1 out, and that'll bring up David Wright. So our Toyota Talk inning. David Wright, a 2-run home run in the first and a fly ball to right field in the third. First question, what do the players do between games of a doubleheader, Devin and Denver? Now, if it was a day-night doubleheader like this was originally scheduled and it was 1 o'clock and 6:40 and there was a couple hours between games, sometimes guys play cards, guys relax a little bit. This ball's pretty well hit, and it's going to go out. David Wright has hit a second home run, and it's 4-2 New York.
Now come to Denver, and all of a sudden the home runs start to pop out for David Wright. And the Met fans pretty excited about it. And remember, they pitched him in hard, went away on a pretty good pitch that was down, and he hit it to right center. This pitch is very similar to the home run ball that he hit out in right center field. A low fastball, and he just dropped the head on it. Drew's talking about in between games. A lot of times you go in, you change. And in today's game with Keith Schultz and his great staff down there, the food in between's pretty good. Grab you a halfway decent meal, get on the field and get it going. But when there's only 35 minutes, you're kind of limited, you know, to going out with a full stomach.
Yeah, and that's what it'll
try
be
to play
today.
the game.
It'll be a half hour. Turn it around and tee it up again. This is in the air off the end of the bat. The car going left. 2 outs. Who else had such an influence on baseball like Jackie Robinson did?
I think Roberto Clemente did.
For Latin players.
I think he did. I think, you know, there was guys in Latin America that played a very big role in the success of players coming here and having success. Rico Cardi being one of those guys, played for Cleveland for a number of years at the DH role. He's a first baseman. I mean, you walk down in the Dominican and you walk the streets, and if you happen to run into some of these players, former players, I mean, it's like Babe Ruth walking down the street. They're idolized there, as they should be.
2 strikes on John Buck. For David Wright, by the way, that was the 19th time in his career he's hit 2 home runs in a game. He's never hit 3. Kadyr's got it in right. It's 4-2 Mets after the home run by Wright to straightaway center field.
being home runs by David Wright. And I'd like to show you, we mentioned going to break, and this staff that we have in our truck put this together for us very quickly, and appreciate that. Watch where this pitch and location is on both of them. Down and inside, but look at the clearance here, that stiff front leg and the extension, but the bat angle straight down on both of these balls. And I mean, David Wright just got after both of those pitches, but very similar location. Down, very down, one to center, one to right center. Yeah, just a good hitter, folks. He's made the difference in this deal.
Josh Rutledge is going to pinch hit for Juan Nicasio, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. So Rutledge, EY, and Johnny Herrera here in the 5th inning. Rockies trailing 4-2. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, and Jenny Cavnar. And that slider's a strike also. It's 0-2. Two on Rutledge. And he gets it. Second strikeout for Dylan G. Eric Young Jr. is 0-for-2. He's coming up. Thanks for texting in your questions to Toyota Talk. For more answers to your questions, visit the Root Sports Facebook page, facebook.com/Root-Rocky. Excuse me. Speaking too quickly. Facebook.com/Root Sports RM. Tracy Ringlesby will answer a bonus Toyota Talk question before the end of the game. You can text your comments during the post-game show. Toyota Talk will continue then. EY takes a strike. And 2 strikes.
I tell you what, G's really starting to settle in. Live and hit his certain spots. And that second pitch to EY a little bit up and off of the plate, close enough to be called by DeMuro behind home plate. You really see how G's getting in his rhythm on the mound.
Junior pulls it toward the hole, and it'll sneak under the glove of Murphy for a 1-out single for Eric Young.
Not sure they would have had EY even if he feels the ball, but it almost, when he dove for the ball, he looked like he was anticipating the ball to come up as it got right to the lip area of the infield. Ball on the inner half. They wanted the ball down and away from him. Mistake made, and a mistake hopefully will cost you.
Now Johnny Herrera has twice hit the ball in the air to center fielder Kirk Neuenhuis. David Wright in on the grass at third. Chatting with David earlier today, and I said, what do you recall is the coldest game you ever played in? He said, smiled and said, maybe the one I'm going to play in 2 hours from now.
It's gotten hot now. It's 41. Your tootsies cold? Your feet cold?
No, they're fine.
Got it buried in that heater.
On the inside corner, 1-1. 2 home runs by David Wright, as George was describing. The Mets have now hit a home run in each of their first 12 games. It's a continuing record for the Mets. It's the longest streak they've ever had opening a season. The previous mark was 8 straight to open a season, and they're the only team in the big leagues to hit a home run in every game they've played this year. Also matches Tampa for the longest stretch in the last 6 years in baseball. To start the season. Two outs. And that'll bring up Carlos Gonzalez. He's already had quite an afternoon. Cargo ripped a triple his first time up, and then a monstrosity of a home run to right center his second time. Here's the triple to right center. Stand-up triple. And George, this was a two-movie flight. Double feature on this one.
Yeah, I got into that second deck, and we mentioned at the time the hardest part of the cycle's over. Triple, home run. Let's try to go get you a lousy single and a double. Or you get another home run, tie the game up.
This is where that Rockies lineup is so formidable. You're Dylan G, and you're saying, man, he's representing the tie-in run. I can't give in to him. And then you kind of eyeball the guy who's 20 feet behind him to the right, and there's Troy Tulowitzki. You say, oh, man.
And then behind him, Skadai.
Right.
You don't have much to chase here.
Ball in the dirt. EY will move up.
Heads up, David Wright. They had the pull on so bad, overplaying Cargo, that whenever the ball got there, they wanted to make sure they had coverage at third base. David Wright had to take off flying. He was basically playing up the middle. This ball's going to hit the dirt. Here's David Wright, your third baseman. He's going to go to the second base bag in case there was a play. Then he had to break and head to third base. Wright's doing his own directing now of where he would like to have Tejada, the shortstop.
3-0 on Cargo. I don't know if he's going to throw him a 3-0 fastball, George.
Why would you?
I'm thinking he won't.
If he does, and throws it over the plate in the middle half in. Something's wrong.
EY takes off for third. He steals third. And the slider was on the outside corner for a strike.
Talked about not giving him a cookie cutter fastball to hit. He didn't do it. It was slider, but then there's no coverage there. You're basically in a foot race with David Wright.
And ball fourth. That will allow Tulowitzki to hit with 2 on here and 2 outs.
Well, there's good walks, there's bad walks. That's a good walk. Hitting the road, well, don't forget you can subscribe to MLB.tv to see every Rockies Out of Market game online or on your favorite devices in HD quality when you're not at home. Go to Rockies.com, find out more information.
Tulo popped to short, and a rocket that ricocheted off of G right to Ike Davis his last time up. And that catches Tulowitzki.
Right on the elbow, too.
Yeah, that didn't sound. That didn't sound good. Troy doesn't wear that padding on the elbow. Dyer will come up with the bases loaded.
Fastball that's riding on the inner half of the plate. Troy trying to curl and get out of the way of this thing, and it caught him flush right on the back of the elbow. Dan Orther, the pitching coach, out to check on his pitcher. His trainer, Keith Duggar, Walt Weiss, out to check on their shortstop.
This cold weather, that thing is going to get stiff.
Yeah, it's all on the non-throwing too. I mean, Keith's making sure that he's got strength in that hand and that arm. He can turn it and rotate it.
Bases full of Rockies, 2 outs. Michael Kadire, 1 for 2, a double back in the second. Rockies trailing 4-2 in the 5th inning. Outside, ball 1.
Rockies trying to improve their average with the bases loaded this year, 1 for 9. This is the first time Kadire's had an opportunity with the bases loaded.
Kadire's been outstanding so far this year. Here's the 1-0, and it's 2-0. In his career, he's been very good with the bases loaded. 7 career grand slams for Michael Kadire. (2-0). 3-0.
If you're wondering at home, on a 3-0 count with Kadire up, do you turn him loose? For me, it's not so much about Kadire, it's about the hitter. Does he have a disciplined enough strike zone that he won't chase something at a bad pitch and pop something up?
Gotta have a slow heartbeat here. 3-1, and that's in there. 3-2.
A slow heartbeat for both parties, and that's G and the guy at the plate, Kadire.
So many hitters, George, in these situations get themselves out because they're over anxious. 3-2, bases loaded. Ball 4, and that forces in a run. Eric Young will score, and it's 4-3. And you have Helton coming up. Two walks and a hit batter along with the single by Young has produced a run. Way outside on top.
Remember, the pitching coach has already made the first trip. Dan Worthen has. They have their bullpen going. But as far as slowing the game down, this is where it's up to Buck to go do that, or David Wright at third base.
Well, you know the guy at the plate's got a slow heartbeat. 1-0 count. 353 career average against the Mets in 96 career ball games for Helton. 15 home runs. He's driven in 60. Chance to drive in a few more.
Because of everyone wearing number 42 today, it's difficult to see who's warming up, but it appears to be Brandon Lyon, the right-hander, and the left-hander is Rice.
The 1-1. And Helton smokes it up the middle. Base hit. That'll score 2. Tulowitzki will come in with the go-ahead run. Todd Helton coming through again. 5-4 Colorado. Keep it close. Let the offense go to work.
On the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, we'll take a look at Helton swing, leg up. Now he wants that foot in the ground when the ball gets to the plate, and it is. An elevated fastball that Todd took right back up the middle, shot it by Murphy, and because Tulowitzki with 2 outs had an exaggerated lead at second, he scores easily. And it's 1st and 3rd now, but G should be mad at himself and himself only because of the walks and hit batsmen. 2 walks in the inning, a hit batsman, and the walk and hit batsman both came around to score.
Todd Helton coming through, as he frequently does. 5-4 Colorado. Five straight ball games. He had the only 2 for the Rockies on the pinch hit 2-run home run on Sunday in San Diego, and he just gave the Rockies a lead with a 2-out, 2-run bases loaded single against Dylan G. That chases G, and it brings in the veteran Brandon Lyon, former closer with the Red Sox, with Arizona, with Houston. Last year split time between Houston and Toronto. And here's Rosario with 2 on.
Normally a strike thrower, he doesn't walk many people. His fastball typically will cut away from the right-hander, and it'll be 87 to 90. In his younger days, before injuries and age and wear and tear, quite honestly, he was a mid-90 thrower.
Rosario, a single to drive in a run in the 2nd inning, and a fly ball to right field in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. 11 ribbies on the young season. Kadire went 1st to 3rd on Helton's hit. One and 2. Mets have had an interesting season in that they're 7 and 4. They're doing it with offense. They're starting pitching other than Matt Harvey. Matt Harvey's been the best starting pitcher in baseball. Other than that, has not been great. This ball to center field's got to get down. Neuenhuis will get there. The Rockies come up with 3 runs, all with 2 outs to take a 5-4 lead. Bases loaded walk to Kadire, and then old reliable coming through, smoking it up the middle. And the Rockies leading 5-4 as we go to the 6th inning. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Honey Smoked Fish Company. Secrets in the fire, it's a ready-to-eat superfood. And by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. And if you're out at Coors Field today, you have Guts and the Rockies hoping to provide the glory. They lead 5-4 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Pitching change for the Rockies after 5 innings of Juan Nicasio. He was pinch hit for, and now Edgmer Escalona will take over. And Nicasio, by virtue of the 3 runs scored while he was still the pitcher of record, George, has a chance to get a W.
Yes, he does. And let's take a look at the overall numbers right now of Escalona on the season. 4 ball games, 245 earned run average. He gave up some home runs the other day in San Diego, 2 in that ball game, 4 strikeouts and a walk. He's done a nice job of keeping innings at a minimum with his first out efficiency, 75%.
Lucas Duda out of the 6th hole will take strike 1. Duda strikeout and a walk. The line for Juan Nicasio, 5 innings, 4 runs, 6 hits. Walked 2, struck out 5. Gave up the 2 home runs to David Wright.
Couple of fastballs. Now flip it over and go to the slider. That's a good pitch down on the inner half of the plate. Not something I don't think they expected from Escalona. That was a good pitch.
Again, the advantage on a frigid day, you don't want to get jammed naturally. That's obvious. But the hitters are coming out of the dugout where they can get warm. Get those gloves on. Uh-oh, this ball's in the air to right, pretty deep, but it'll stay in the ballpark. Dyer makes the catch, got it off the end of the bat a little bit. Where it becomes difficult on a day like this is if you have to stand around defensively, as the Mets did a little bit last inning. Tune in Friday after the game for Rockies Real Time this week. Join your favorite Rockies players and coaches on the set of the 2013 Rockies commercials. Plus, take a ride to the ballpark in Cargo's Ferrari as we take you behind the scenes of his day. It's Rockies Real Time Friday after the game right here on Root Sports. Kirk Neuenhuis has struck out twice. Well, you root for this kid to do well once he leaves town. Kid from Denver. Two and 1. George, I have bad news for you.
Okay, go right ahead.
Remember you said the temperature was 41, it was heating up?
Dropped to 34 real quick.
Yeah, that was
Did
real
you notice
quick.
that too?
I said, man, it feels a lot colder. And I looked out there and it's...
Or maybe they put it up to 41 to make you think it was a little warm. What do you think?
I'm not so sure. 3-1, and this is in the air to center field. EY tracks it, and that's the second out. That will bring to the plate the shortstop, Ruben Tejada. If you have auto glass damage, call Safelite Auto Glass, America's favorite vehicle glass experts. They're at 303-287-5000 or go to safelite.com. The line on Dylan G, he goes 4 2/3, 5 runs, all of them earned, 7 hits, a couple of walks, a couple of punch outs, and he hit a batter. Well, good news is, George, Tulowitzki's out there at short. Apparently is okay. I'll tell you what, if you've ever been hit on the elbow, right on the bone, that
funny bone
is painful.
Got the funny bone. And it goes numb up your fingers.
Yeah, I don't know who called it the funny bone.
Why did they call it the funny bone?
I don't know, because there's nothing funny about it. 0-2 on Tejada, who took an excuse me swing. See, Tulo's got the eye black thing going too. You know what can be, and you hope it doesn't come into play. You hear outfielders, George, time to time they lose a ball in the lights. Well, you could lose a ball today in the snow, the white of the snow.
Well, it's all white background up and behind. Back in the second or third inning, we were talking about Kadire, and his wild black was kind of the same thing. Because of that high third or the third deck area, it did not get cleaned off, and fans aren't allowed up there.
First inning of work for Escalona. He's ahead of Tejada 1-2. That didn't feel too good. And Tejada just taking himself, run to the bag. Nicely done. Good strong inning for edge for Escalona. Middle of 6. Rockies ahead of the Mets 5-4. First of 2 on a frigid day.
Raven, and so far the Rockies on top of the Mets by 1 as we head to the bottom of 6. Well, of course, today is the celebration of Jackie Robinson, all the players wearing number 42. In fact, the new movie 42 is out, and for Eric Young Jr., he feels it's a very important film.
Definitely important, especially at the current moment with our number of African American players being down. I think the younger generation get to watch the movie and maybe get a better understanding, and might inspire some to go out there and play baseball.
Well, like Drew, I got a chance to see the movie last night on our snowed out game night. It was a fabulous movie indeed. And to Eric Young Jr.'s point, in 1997, 27% of players in Major League Baseball were African American. In 2013, 7.7 are African American. So I know they want to spread the game, and Eric Young Jr. is a big advocate of that. I also, during spring training, we got a chance to talk to him about autographs, if he would ever seek out an autograph from any player, and his only response was the one and only Jackie Robinson. Guys?
Yeah, and Jenny, the numbers have declined quite a bit, and certainly, for athletes, basketball and football have pulled some of those numbers down. Now, we should point out, in last year's first round of the Major League Baseball draft, there were 7 American players taken, which was the most in quite some time. And Major League Baseball has opened a number of inner city academies now. Compton was the first. I thought Ike Davis, for a moment, was going to fire to third. That would not have been a good decision from the Mets' perspective. Escalona gets the bunt down, and Nelson with the leadoff doubles now at third. Rockies trying to add on to their total of 5, and here comes Eric Young Jr. UI had a base hit his last time up. Moved to second on a wild pitch, stole third, and then scored on the walk to Michael Kadire, which came in front of Todd Helton's bases loaded 2-run single. Rockies began last inning trailing 4-2. They have a 5-4 lead, infield in for New York. And Lions pitch is up and in. Here's one of my favorite little known facts about Jackie Robinson and his family. The 1936 Olympic Games of Berlin, where Jesse Owens, much to the dismay of Hitler. This ball ripped to right, base hit, and Nelson can come on down. So EY with his second knock, and that's a big one. He makes it 6-4.
Young entered this ball game hitting 182, and now all of a sudden the average at 231 after this base hit. 2 fastballs to the inner half of the plate have resulted in 2 line drives, and Trey Collins has decided to go to his bullpen. He's decided to double switch in this situation. Brandon Lyon will exit after working out of the previous inning and leave here with a run across and a runner on first and 1 out.
Pitching change. We'll tell you about it when we come back, and we'll finish that story about Jackie Robinson as well. 6-4 Colorado. Cowgill is coming to the ball game, the double switch, former Arizona Diamondback. He is in center field. Kirk Neuenhuis comes out, and lefty Scott Rice comes on for New York. Johnny Herrera will be his first subject. Johnny, a switch hitter, will flip around to the right side.
Well, obviously sitting up with 1 out, hoping to get Herrera, then having the left-hander face Gonzalez. And this year, 5 1/3, 4 hits given up. He has walked 3. 2 of 4 would-be base runners he inherited have scored.
Johnny 0 for 3. And throw over to first. To finish that story on Jackie Robinson. So in 1936, Jesse Owens famously wins the 100-yard dash in front of Adolf Hitler. The man who won the silver medal that day, Mac Robinson, Jackie Robinson's older brother. Rice 88-92 with the fastball. He'll throw a slider and a split finger fastball as well. And this is on the ground to second. Johnny's got to get up the line quickly, and the Mets are able to turn it over 4-6-3, and they weren't even sure that was 3 outs. It is. Rockies get another run. Chris Nelson a leadoff double. 6-4. And then 4-3 on a bases loaded walk. Todd Helton drives in 2. He gives the Rockies a 5-4 advantage. And then just a few moments ago, after a double by Chris Nelson, Eric Young Jr. got the barrel out and drove this pitch to right field. And for EY, his second RBI of the season. And the Rockies have a 6-4 lead over New York. Second inning of work for Edgmer Escalona. 9-1-2. After the double switch, Colin Cowgill will lead things off. Briefly a couple of years ago with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Last year up and down between Sacramento and the Oakland A's.
Drafted out of Kentucky. High draft pick by the Diamondbacks. A guy that played right field, now playing center field. At times has shown decent power in his career. He's got a couple of home runs this year and 27 at bats. 4 of his 4 hits on the season, so 2 of the 4 have gone extra bases along with a double.
Yeah, those 2 home runs doubling up his career numbers entering the season. 2-1.
Escalona starting to get accustomed to the multiple inning use. 3 of his last 4 have been in that same situation where he's been asked to go back out after working 1 inning. A couple of years ago in September, he was outstanding. Worked 3 innings at a time, an awful lot in the month of September. Was very good.
This has popped up. Helton may have a play. It's going to be close. And
Fan got him.
No, Todd caught it. Todd caught it, thankfully.
Fan had bad judgment.
Yeah,
thankfully.
That's why the fans in the stands and Helton's out on the field.
Yeah, he went up. He actually snapped his glove of this. He acted like he did catch it. Good job, Todd Helton. He's to get an out there. Not an easy play at all as he goes over in front of the fan. The fan goes to snag it. Helton catches it. Let's see how far out in front of him he was. You know, he missed that ball by a couple of feet. Thank goodness he did. Good job, Todd Helton.
Cowgill's retired. This will bring up Jordani Valdespin 0 for 3. And he offered at that. It's 0-1. Center field, Eric Young Jr. And with 2 outs, Daniel Murphy will come up. AT&T trivia question. Who was the first African-American to play in the American League? Cleveland Indians, Larry Doby.
thing Escalona's done is obviously just pound the strike zone. Strike out a lot, but you know, what he'll do is get a lot of balls in play, and he'll get them on the ground. 15 or make that 23 pitches totally thrown now. 16 have been in the strike zone.
Murphy walked and scored on the home run by Wright in the first inning. Ground ball to second, ground ball to first, and he's out front there. And it's 1-2 on Daniel Murphy. Murphy out of Jacksonville, Florida. He stayed at home. He went to Jacksonville University. And the strikeout of Daniel Murphy. Excellent pitching by Edgmer Escalona. Retiring all 6 he has faced. 6'4", Colorado. To 4 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Heart of the order, Cargo, Tulowitzki, and Kadire here in the 7th inning. Well, Rockies fans, want to win your dream home? Enter the Mile High Raffle. Do it today to have a chance to win a $3.25 million dream house or a couple $1 million in cash and support the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metro Denver. Visit milehighraffle.com for more information. Scott Rice continuing on, and his pitch to Carlos Gonzalez is inside ball 1. Cargo's had himself an afternoon. Triple in the first, home run in the 3rd. He walked and scored in the 5th. Shift on once again. And Cargo lobs this one up to shallow right center, and the shortstop Tejada makes the catch. Troy Tulowitzki, 0 for 2, hit by a pitch in the 5th and would come around to score. Got hit right on that left elbow. It's hard sometimes to tell, George. He's got a sleeve on it now, but did he put the little pad? Sometimes it's hard to see the pad because it's underneath.
Well, there's pad right on the outside back there, isn't it?
Yeah, now it looks like, yeah, he's got the pad on it.
Yep. Where it gets you as a hitter is the extension. You start to pop that arm out because of the swelling.
We're seeing this more and more. Padres did this. They played Tulo, shading him significantly toward right center field. That's where Colin Cowgill is right now. And he enormous gap in left center field. We've seen
But
Troy hit the ball in that
tell
direction
you?
a ton.
What's that tell you? I'm
Pitch
going to pitch you away, and I'm
Yeah.
going to pitch you down.
It's easy for Tulowitzki to see that. And there's a ball out to left field that will not drop. That's a pretty good play by Lucas Duda, who's not known for his glove work. I thought for sure it would drop. Good play by Duda, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Kadire. Have auto glass damage, call Safelite Auto Glass, 303-287-5000, online at safelight.com. Kadire, a double and a run scored in the second, comebacker in the third, and an RBI bases loaded walk in the 5th inning. He's got 11 RBIs, takes ball 1. Tulowitzki has 11 RBIs. Rosario has 11 RBIs. Helton's got 8 RBIs. Cargo's got 7. Well, it's playing out in the first couple of weeks of the season, George, as many who followed the Rockies hoped it would, where this offense has been tremendous and deep, up and down the lineup. You know, there's some dangerous hitters typically in every big league lineup, but they're usually situated 3 and 4, and then there's a significant drop-off. Well, the Rockies have thunder up and down the lineup. And of course, Dexter Fowler's double digits in RBIs, not playing here in game 1. And he also leads the club in home runs with 6. 3-0 and another walk to Kadire. That'll bring up Helton. Here's the in-game box score. It's brought to you by Subway. Eric Young, couple singles. Cargo, we talked about his big day. Todd Helton, the enormous 2-run single to give the Rockies a 5-4 lead and erase a 4-3 deficit. Single, by the way, early on for Willeen Rosario came on a 1-2 pitch to drive in a run. Good piece of hitting and punched the line drive to right. Todd 7 for his last 17. Got off to the slow start, 2 for 21, and that was on the heels of the best finish to a spring training, in his words, he ever had.
Right.
He finished 7 for his last 7 at the plate. And George, we saw all 7 at bats. They're all Rockets. 2 are home runs, opposite field home runs. I mean, he was just crushing the ball.
He was, and it was opposite field stuff from Air Salt Lake. Hit one off the wall, over the wall at 2 different times, one at 425 feet. Wilton Lopez has been now warming up to come on and pitch the 8th inning after 2 outstanding innings by Escalona.
Casio, he's a pitcher of record on the plus side. Dylan G on the south side. One, 2 on Todd. That's fouled off out of play again. That's how you hit 320 for your career, George. You waste all the nasty pitches.
Fight it off, fight it off, fight it off.
This guy hoping Todd delivers him a baseball. Two and 2. In the nightcap of the doubleheader, Jeff Francis will go for the Rockies against another left-hander, Aaron Laffey. Count full, Rosario's on deck. We would assume if Todd reached, that Terry Collins would go bring in a right-hander.
And he has one warming up down in the bullpen right now. Well, Troy Hawkins, the former Rocky and right-hander, is getting loose down in the bullpen for the Mets, and he'll get a chance here. Terry will get to go get him.
Back-to-back walks with 2 outs. The walk to help pushes Kadire to second. Here comes Terry. So here's what we'll do. We'll take a break. 6-4 Colorado. Bottom of the 7th inning. Trying to add on. Willeen Rosario coming up, and they'll face the one-time Rocky LaTroy Hawkins. What's next? Brought to you by CenturyLink. In the nightcap, it'll be Aaron Laffey for the Mets against Jeff Francis for the Rockies. Jeff looking for his 2nd victory of the year. We'll have a post-game pregame, Toyota post-game pregame, George, between games of the doubleheader. LaTroy's been around for a long time, and he's had a lot of success in his big league career. He's off to a rough start this year.
Yeah, 4 2/3, 10 hits given up. Very uncharacteristic of LaTroy Hawkins is he has had an awful lot of success. First batter efficiency right at 60%. And the opponent average at 476. So it hasn't been pretty so far. He's had success here at Coors Field. I'm sure he'd like to turn that around now with the Rockies with a couple of guys on base, 1st and 2nd. You make a mistake to Willeen, this game could be ugly in a heartbeat.
Willeen, an RBI single back in the 2nd, 1 for 3. Lined out to center his last time up. That's fouled off. Troy's one of those guys, George, that has had a long career, and for the most part, he's been able to maintain his mid-90s fastball. And that first pitch he threw tonight was at 88. 877th career game, 31st all-time in appearances.
That was pretty amazing. This dude down here was running around. He grabbed and got like a dogfight with another guy to get the ball underneath the seat and everything. He gave it a little kid. I like that. That's nice. Proud of him.
Dyer at 2nd, Helton at 1st. Here's the 1-1. Hawkins with the Angels last year. 48 games, 364 earned run average. Missed a month with a broken finger. He was with the Rockies back in 2007. 62 appearances. Had a real solid year. Hit the big leagues for the first time in 1995 with Minnesota, your old team.
Yeah, very successful there. Even worked as a closer in that for that organization.
2-2. And he got him with a slider. That puts down the inning. The Rockies will leave Kadire and Helton on base, but they'll carry a 6-4 lead to the 8th inning.
A player who's got the guts not to fight back.
You give me a uniform, you give me a number on my back, I'll give you the guts.
Great film. Saw it last night. You do not want to miss 42. And today, with the postponement yesterday in Denver, we honor the 66th anniversary of Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier. I think it's a great tradition now. Every player on April 15th in the game wearing number 42 on his back. Wilton Lopez, trying to protect a 6-4 lead, will throw the 8th inning. His last outing after a few difficult outings was lights out in San Diego.
By far his best outing for Lopez. It takes some guys a little bit longer to get things going, and then he could be one of those guys. He'll get David Wright to start things off, right, with a 2-home run day so far. What you mentioned earlier, Drew, 7th time in his career that he's been able to do that with David Wright.
19
times. That's a lot. It's 3 for 8 against Lopez in his career. No home runs, though.
Tell you what Wilton had in his last outing in San Diego, George. Great depth on the sinker.
Well, in order to have that, you can't let your hand get outside the ball. You got to stay right behind it. Even though you're a low 3/4 guy, your hand has to stay behind the ball. When you do let it get out to the side, it just has a flat run on the baseball. You keep your hand on top of it, you'll get some pretty good sink on it.
Another base hit for Wright, and that'll bring up Ike Davis.
Hey, let's get to the ballpark early Sunday as the first 20,000 are going to receive Eric Young 20th anniversary bobblehead courtesy of 850 KOA and Napa Auto Parts. So make sure you're a part of that on Sunday with the Diamondbacks in town, 303 Rockies, and Rockies.com/bobble. EY's dad is going to be up for the bobblehead.
And now EY moving back because of the prodigious power of Ike Davis. Double play ball perhaps. Johnny with a good feed, and Troy Tulowitzki making sure he got one.
Well, Wright's got good speed.
Play by Johnny.
But Wright's got good speed, so Troy's not going to really be able to set his feet. Wright got into him, but enough just to disturb the throw to first base. Not to do anything malicious, but just a nice defensive play. Wright with a couple stolen bases already. See, he's already into Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki was in just, stretch and catch the ball mode early because that was going to be a tough play.
John Buck, 2 for 3, 2 singles. And this could be 2. Chris Nelson, good pickup, low throw, nice pickup, and he nearly turned it. Johnny Herrera scooped it out of the dirt, fired to first, and catcher running. It was somewhat close still at first. Good pickup by Nelly, George.
A tough pickup by Nelly, too. I mean, Nelly's standing out there. I'm not sure he saw the ball really quickly as it comes out. Might have hurt a little bit on his lower left side, too. See how he jammed that knee into the ground? And then when he threw the ball, I mean, he one-hopped it. Johnny, very relaxed hands, was able to pick it on to first.
Two outs, and that'll bring up Duda. 0 for 2 and a walk. For Colorado. Wilton Lopez out of Nicaragua. He and Everett Cabrera, I believe the only 2 players currently from Nicaragua in the big leagues. Basically playing behind Buck, and it's pulled through the hole, a base hit. And Buck will go first to third.
Hey, they're going to go to their bench for the only left-handed hitter they have on the bench, and that is Baxter.
This is the pitcher spot, so Mike Baxter swing it here. Baxter this year is 1 for 2 pinch hitting. 17 at bats, 5 hits. Buck at third and Lucas Duda at first.
Oh, that hurt. That caught with Lane right on the wrist. Well, Mike Shaw, Subaru Supermo will take another look at this. The umpire going to buy him a little time here. Ow!
And Mike DeMura cleaning off the plate that was immaculate anyhow. Protocol. Catchers will do the same thing when an umpire gets hit. They'll go out, talk to the pitcher, even though none of them have anything to say. Here's the 1-2, just missed.
And just below the strike zone, a perfect pitch by Lopez. If you're Lopez, he really put that exactly where he wanted it, but just a little bit below the zone.
I'll tell you what, if you duplicate it, George, I can't imagine that Baxter would take that twice.
Yeah, it's so nasty. That's the only reason he would, knowing that he couldn't do anything with it. But go right back out there again. Stay on it. I hope he pulls it in the ground.
In the air, center field. Ewy's got it in the inning. There were a couple of singles, couple men left, and the Rockies continue to have a 2-run advantage. Chris Nelson will lead off the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th inning, Chris Nelson will lead things off for Colorado. Who Wants Tacos fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more runs for the Rockies Taco Special, text the keyword taco to 720-720. When the Rockies do score 7 or more, Taco Bell and Root Sports together will donate $250 to the Colorado I Have a Dream Foundation. Greg Burke is a new pitcher for the Mets. So he'll throw the bottom of the 8th inning. Rockies looking to add on. They trailed 2-0 in this game. They trailed 4-2. And they now are enjoying a 6-4 lead.
You see the numbers on the right-hander. 5 ball games, 476 earned run average. The one thing you'd like to see get better is that 40% first batter efficiency. You'd like to see that in the 65-70 range. But the opponent's just hitting .217 against him.
Reed Brignac. Reed Brignac on deck? I can't see her. Is that Jordan Pacheco? Pacheco.
A lot of times when you have double headers like this coming up, you'll use the guy that you're going to play in the next ball game. So that takes a lot of times. That's why you look at this. Lafayette, a left-handed pitcher, going to start for the Mets. And Jordan in at bat here in the first game, in preparation for probably starting at first base for Todd Helton in the second ball game.
Two and one on Nelly. He doubled his last time up. 3-1.
Betcourt getting ready for the 9th inning with the Rockies with a couple of run lead here, 6-4, save situation. Betcourt 5 for 5 in save opportunities.
Three and two.
And the cold won't bother him. He pitched in Cleveland for a while.
Long time.
He's ready for it. You know, this is a heat wave. Still 34 though, Drew. It hasn't dropped anymore.
Davis has it, 1 out.
The first Purple Monday is April 22nd, where Purple win prizes, including fan experiences. That's right. The first 18,000 fans, you're going to receive a Rockies Purple t-shirt. So make sure you participate on April 22nd.
Here's a different look at Rafael warming up amid the snow in the bullpen. Bo McLaughlin looking on. Jordan Pacheco with 1 out. And he takes strike 1. This isn't Pacheco's first rodeo with cold weather.
No.
Not growing up in Albuquerque. And this is a base hit to left for Jordan. That'll bring to the plate Eric Young, who's had a base hit in each of his last 2 ABs, 2 for 4.
Well, at the odd angle, too, that Burke comes from against the right-handed batter. I mean, he really drops down sidearm, tries to shoot the ball out kind of out of the middle of his uniform. So it's a difficult pitch to pick up on right-handers. Good job by Pacheco. Activity down in the Met bullpen. Edgin is starting to warm up. Yeah, they're only the left-hander they have, getting ready for cargo.
I thought I remembered this guy, George. He pitched for the Padres 4 years ago.
Yeah. Been kind of bouncing around a little bit since then, in and out of the minor leagues. He's been to Portland, Tucson, Bowie, back to Double-A, and then up to North Fork. But everywhere he's gone, he's pitched pretty well at the minor league level. Getting a shot here at the big leagues again.
Pitching for a team he may have rooted for growing up. He's a Jersey kid. Went to Duke.
Some guys will reinvent themselves by the way they throw the baseball. You know, at Duke, he may have been over the top. He may have been that way in high school. Somebody said it didn't work, and let's try something different, see if it'll get you to the big leagues.
Oh, the best example of that with Rockies ties is Brian Fuentes.
And Javier Lopez, same thing. He was an over-the-top guy and been a very successful left-handed reliever for the Giants.
Ely hits this pretty well to right field. And it is over the head of Valdespin. And a green light for Pacheco. He's going to score easily on a triple by Ely. 7-4 Colorado. Have an afternoon on Jackie Robinson Day. Eric Young Jr.
Yeah, pick up another RBI. Playing for Dexter Fowler. Third hit of the ball game for EY, and he bumped that average to 259 now. Jumped at 87 points since the start of this thing. 78 points. Boy, what a nice shot by EY. It had that sound that it might leave the yard. It was very close to doing that. Hit right off of that mesh screen in right field.
Say what, you you have a situation here, George, where other than the left-handed bat, you have ideal squeeze guys at the plate. Good bunter and a guy with great speed. The only thing you'd like is to have a right-handed bat instead of a left-handed bat.
That would be better because you just pitch out. I mean, that's all you got to do as a pitcher. I mean, you're facing the guy at third. If you see him take off, you just throw a pitch out and Ewy's out. Infield's way in, too. Wright's playing, taking steps right along with Ely at third base. With a 3-run lead, the infield in. Johnny, a contact guy. Let him swing the bat, see if he can get this run across. Pop fly into the outfield.
Two and one. Well, with that triple by Eric Young Jr., we've got tacos. Third time in the last 4 ball games for the Rockies. Make your way to Taco Bell tomorrow between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies Taco Special. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. Three and one on Herrera with Cargo on deck.
The hard thing for a guy that throws submarine is to throw in on a left-hander because you overcook it and you end up off the plate. It's much easier just sink it away from him.
Johnny's going to need a new piece of lumber. Rockies have played most games on the road in baseball. 5 and 4 on the road, trying to improve to 4 and 0 at home.
Yeah, just keep winning ball games. Keep plugging it up, sticking it on them, and his bats are just swinging away. I mean, that's like Nicasio today. Great outing? No. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs. But guess what? This offense is going to throw some tokens on the board and give you a chance to win a lot of ball games.
And Johnny Herrera throws a token to left field for an RBI single. Come on down, Eric Young Jr. Make it 8 for Rockies. Johnny Herrera with a ribby.
Well, the base hit does a lot of things. Obviously, it puts another run on the board, gives the Rockies a 4-run lead, but it also could force the hand of Terry Collins, unless he feels this is out of hand with Betancourt in the bullpen. You know, that this adds and kicks this thing into left field. EY comes on in to score because he's got the left-hander warming up, and he's not made that move yet. The bullpen has shut it down for the Mets. And it's Mr. Burke's job to try to get 2 outs here in the 8th. Down by 4.
Strike on Cargo. Terry Collins has managed a lot of games in Denver because in the 80s he managed in the PCL with Albuquerque. Cargo triple, home run, walk, and a pop out as you look at Terry Collins.
Well, you said it earlier too. You know, he's talking about managing here, but you got another game tonight and possibly a doubleheader on Thursday. You know what? You're going to have to suck it up and get me 2 outs and get us out of this game, out of this inning. I'm not blowing up this bullpen in the first game of what could be a couple of doubleheaders.
The reason George is saying that is the weather
kind of nasty for tomorrow.
Doesn't look real good for tomorrow. Not that these are ideal playing conditions right now. The game, by the way, was delayed 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Due to snow
removal.
Yeah, snow removal. Exactly.
And on the ground to short. David Wright couldn't make the turn. That would have been 6-5-3. Instead, it's a 6-5 put out.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. 4-run ball game, freezing cold outside, 34 degrees. It looked like a tailor-made double play. There should be high fives for Johnny right there. Hey, let's credit Cargo a little bit. You know, Wright's got some time to turn this thing. Cargo busted it up the line to keep this inning alive and get Tulowitzki in at bat.
Yeah, that does not go unnoticed.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it does by the, maybe by the guy sitting at home. Oh, okay, hustle a little bit, but it's not in the box score. You're not reading it anywhere there. I'm gonna tell you what, that was a nice deal on Cargo's part to bust it up the line like that.
And you know what, George? Not that people at home, you always hustle, and yes, you'd like that. But with a guy who's going to play 150 some odd games this year, in these temperatures, in these conditions, with a 4-run lead, nobody would say a word if he coasted to first base there.
Yeah, no question.
Eight for Colorado, 2 outs, Tulo at the plate. Troy 0 for 3, robbed of a hit on a line shot to left. Last time up, Lucas Duda made a sliding catch coming forward. When you're right on right or left on left, George, against a guy that drops down, they may only throw 88, 89. It just seems about 7, 8 miles an hour harder.
Well, it does, and that's like an elevated fastball. It gets on you quicker. I mean, it's just an odd angle to look at a ball. You just don't see it that often. And particularly if you can throw a little frisbee with it, it just adds that much more to it.
David Wright, he's gone errorless 66 straight games. Longest streak going for a third baseman in baseball. Handled that. Rockies get another run. They're up 8-4. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. And by the new Chicken Fajita Sub only at Quiznos. Rockies up 8-4 in the first of 2. It's been a day of snow removal and a day of big hits and a day for your warmest winter jacket, Joel Klatt.
Yes, sir, I have it on. I've got the gloves on, and we're getting ready for the Toyota postgame show, so we hope that you're along with us. We're going to be talking about Hot Toddy. Remember all the way back when it was 4-3, Todd Helton with that nice 2 RBI single, getting a couple of guys in. Todd Helton with the go-ahead RBI in this game. Plus, how about number 5, Drew putting it in 5th gear and going upper deck for that home run back in this ball game. Talking about Carlos Gonzalez. It's a double dip. We'll get you ready for the second ball game. All of that coming out on a cold center field set. How are you guys doing up there? You guys okay? You need hot chocolate?
Yeah, we're doing all right. But when you said we're going to do the post game, aren't you mixing in a pregame too? You only got 30 minutes to jam it.
We are mixing in a pregame, so well done. We are going to mix that in, including what I've been told is the world's greatest mullet via Mark Stout. A little throwback night tonight. We're going back to 1993, and I've been told that Mark Stout has the most unbelievable mullet of all time. We've got a picture of it coming up.
Perfect. Can't wait.
Mark will always break something out. He's a period actor. He's going to be in character. Rafael Betancourt's going to take over here in the 9th inning. And a reminder that Toyota Talk will continue during the full post-game show, so keep texting in your comments.
Well, Mr. Betancourt taking the hill, 5 for 5. We mentioned that in save opportunities. Done a very good job against the left-hander. You can see all these things happening. He is doing what he needs to do. Quick outs, working a little faster pace than he has in the past. More strikeouts, a couple of walks, very uncharacteristic of that. That happened the other day in San Diego. We walked 2 guys in an inning. That never happens.
Strike on Ruben Tejada. Poked an RBI single to right in the 4th inning. George, what did you say earlier about cold wouldn't bother Rafael because he pitched in Cleveland for so long? He's out there sleeveless.
Absolutely. Man up.
Pop-up, and Rosario hoping for a play.
Pretty close.
And it was real close. Kind of skimmed the other side of the screen, 1 and 2. Going to be about 30 minutes between these 2 games. The guys that play both games, George, enough time to grab a quick shower to get warm.
Oh yeah, either that or go jump in the hot tub back there in the locker room to warm your body up, put on some fresh clothes, come out and play a baseball game.
Cowgill's on deck. 8, 9, and 1. Two and 2 on Tejada. And this one's playable. Helton in foul ground, called off by Johnny Herrera. Said this for 17 years. Todd's always good when that happens. I've never seen him drop a pop, but he'll tell you he hates catching them.
Pretty true. Sometimes Todd doesn't like to have to make that move, but he made a nice play on one in the stands earlier today when he caught it with the fan right in front of him, snatching a glove. Johnny gets the out.
Let the masked man catch it, right?
Yeah. Now Cowgill will get a shot at it. There's the fan. He had a chance to catch one earlier. Missed it. Todd able to get it.
Actually, Cowgill, George's first time up, fouled out to, as he said, was the one who fouled out to Todd. And this is right at Eric Young Jr. This will be the 2nd out in the 9th inning. Jordani Valdespin, 8-4 Colorado. 2 outs in the 9th. Valdespin 0 for 4 in the game. DeMuro behind the plate. The way Major League Baseball works now, if there's a doubleheader and you're working the plate in the first game, you get the second game off. Three now. 2 pitches that are borderline strikes as you glance at the Ford strike zone. There's Mike.
Much as it takes a closer to close out a game, for an umpire not to get lazy, even in an 8-4 game and a temperature of 34, 36 degrees now, it's jumped 2 degrees. Stay as consistent as you can throughout the game. DeMuro's done just that.
Here's the 3-2, ground ball to second base. Johnny's got it over to Helton, and the Rockies have won for the 9th time in their first 13. And they win game 1 of this doubleheader on Jackie Robinson Day here in Colorado. The final score 8-4. Juan Nicasio improves to 2-0, and Dylan G takes the loss. He's 0-3. One of the hitting stars, number 5 ordinarily, wearing 42 this day, Carlos Gonzalez. Eric Young Jr. also 3 hits today and drove in a couple of runs, but the biggest blow we have reserved for Todd Helton. Tonight's Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's. Todd Helton with the Rockies trailing 4-3, 2 outs, bases loaded. And he drove one hard up the middle. A 2-run single. Rockies took a 5-4 lead on their way to an 8-4 victory. Visit jimmyjohns.com to find a location near you. On a frigid Tuesday afternoon, the Rockies win the first of a double dip against the Bats. The final score 8-4. We invite you to stick around for the post-game show brought to you by Toyota. That'll be next in front of the second game.